Huion gifted me with one of their newest products, the Kamvas Pro 19. I've been using it for a few weeks now, and here are my honest thoughts about it, including the burning question, will it replace my beloved iPad? A lot of things surprised me about this pen display, including a game-changing feature that this switch enables. So stick around and I'll go over 5 pros, 5 cons, and then wrap up with a final verdict. Ready? Let's dive in. Pro number 1, the accessories. I'm happy to say that Huion doesn't cheap out on providing you with everything you need to get up and running. The box includes 2 pens, both with different thicknesses, and plenty of spare nibs of 2 different types. You also get a case that holds it all in place, which when closed can even hold your pens. You also get a controller with a tactile scroll wheel. I tried it out for a bit and it definitely gets the job done, though I don't see myself using it since I'm used to using the TabMate 2. I find the TabMate 2 smaller and more ergonomic in my hand, and I like resting my hand on my lap while using it. But I'm still mentioning the controller as a positive, because it's cool they provided one for free, just in case you don't have one. In terms of other accessories, you get all the plugs and cables you need to get going, so no worries about needing extra cables to get started. The real surprise for me was this drawing glove. They're usually all made from the same flimsy material, but this one is actually padded on one side, which makes it very comfortable to use, like your hand is laying on a soft pillow while drawing. Pro number 2, the screen. So I love my current pen display, the XP Pen Artist 24 Pro, but if there's one thing I wish I could change about it, it would be its resolution. It's a 2.5K QHD resolution at 24 inches, which is 123 pixels per inch. This is noticeably lower than my iPad Pro, which has 264 pixels per inch. The Kamvas Pro 19 is 4K at 19 inches, which is 238 pixels per inch, so it gets very close to the sharpness I'm used to on my iPad, especially when dealing with small UI elements. Another thing I loved about this screen is its texture. It's a nice matte finish that is pleasant to draw on. There's zero glare, yet it also doesn't wash out the colors. But my favorite thing about this screen is a feature that is enabled by this switch. Turning this switch on enables touchscreen. Coming from an iPad, that is one thing I always missed when working with my pen display. I can't tell you how many times I craved to be able to pinch and zoom and pan with touch. The touch response isn't anywhere near as good as my iPad, but it's completely enough. To my surprise, in Clip Studio Paint, I was also able to undo a 2-finger tap, exactly like I'm used to in Procreate. Pro number 3, the size and weight. I worried that 19 inches would feel too small, especially since I'm currently used to a 24-inch pen display. An iPad can get away with being 12.9 inches because the apps on it are designed for this size, but desktop software with its thousands of tiny panels and buttons, not so much. But I have to say, while using the Kamvas Pro 19, I never felt cramped or missing the extra space. I did have to set my Windows UI to 200%. At 100%, the UI felt too small. I also appreciated the fact that my arm didn't have to move as much to access UI controls, which are often positioned on the edges of the screen, compared to my 24-inch pen display, where I do find my shoulder getting tired from reaching a lot. Though I'm learning to rely on my controller more and more, so this is becoming less of an issue. In any case, I often notice I have a lot of wasted white space around my drawing when I'm on my 24-inch. In that regard, the 19-inch was efficient in its use of screen real estate. Another thing I appreciated about the 19-inch Kamvas Pro was its small physical footprint, especially compared to my 24-inch pen display. For reference, here is the packaging of both products. The 19-inch was so much smaller and lighter that I could actually place it under my main monitors and use those monitors for references. I could never do that with my 24-inch, which was so big I had to sit it to one side of my table. The Huion Kamvas Pro is also super light, so I imagine someone could even place it on their lap to draw. I actually think if the Kamvas Pro was just a little bigger, like 22 inches, then it'd be perfect. My pro number 4 is the pen that comes with the Kamvas Pro 19. And actually, you get 2 pens. One is slim and the other is a bit thicker. I prefer my pens thick. I find thicker pens to be more comfortable and healthier for my hands. I actually find my Apple Pencil too thin. I add a grip to it to help with this, but with this Huion pen, I don't need to do that. The other thing I like about the pens are the buttons found here. You can assign 3 different functions to each from a menu of options, including assigning keyboard keys or mouse keys, or switching to tools like erase. Speaking of erasing, you can also flip the pen and then use the other end as an eraser. Though in all honesty, I mostly use my controller for switching to erase. It's much faster, but having the option is cool. And finally, the third thing I love about these pens is the choice of nibs. You get 2 kinds. One is the normal plastic nibs we're all used to. The other is this super cool felt nib. And let me tell you, it feels and sounds great to use. The best analogy I can make is that it feels like drawing with a felt tip marker. And combined with the screen texture, it's fantastic. Which leads me to pro number 5, the drawing feel. This is the most important feature of a pen display, and I'm happy to report that drawing on this pen display feels great. Now, I'm not one to do technical tests. If you're interested in that sort of thing, check out their website for quantitative stats. Or better yet, check out the 7 Pens website for a super in-depth analysis. Or watch reviews by the great Brad Colbo. My metric for success is a bit more fuzzy. For me, the questions I ask myself are, did I enjoy drawing on it? Did I keep wanting to draw on it? Did my drawings turn out well? Did I have a smile on my face while drawing? Did drawing on it feel natural? Those are the kind of non-technical things I was trying to pay attention to, and I felt like I could answer yes to all those questions. Regarding the drawing feel, I do have one quibble about pen displays in general, especially compared to my iPad and Procreate, and it happens to be my first con, and that is responsiveness. To this day, I have yet to use a pen display that feels as responsive as my iPad plus Procreate combo. See for yourself. Here's Clip Studio Paint using Huion versus Procreate using the iPad. Watching the clip again, you'll notice the Procreate and iPad combo having slightly less lag. You may think the iPad is the winner here, but check this out. Here's Clip Studio Paint using Huion versus Clip Studio Paint using the iPad. I would say here there's hardly any difference in responsiveness. So the real winner, I'd say, is Procreate. Whatever they're doing with their drawing engine just makes it very snappy and responsive on the iPad. Also, here's a real G pen on paper, just to remind us that nature's lit. Con number 2, the stand. It's cool that it comes with this integrated stand. It's low profile when not in use, and it's easy to flip these legs out, which may be great if you're on the go a lot. But for me, the drawing angle wasn't steep enough. I tried propping it up on my desk like this, but it wasn't a sturdy or reliable way of drawing. So instead, I purchased Huion's adjustable VESA mount desk stand. It's the ST100A, and that's allowed me to have more control over the drawing angle. So problem solved. But it would have been nice to have this stand in the box, like I did with my XP pen. Con number 3 is the cable management. I don't love the placement of the connector cables. It's over here to the right of the display, and they stick out a lot. Not to mention the PC I'm using it with is under my desk and to the left, so I get this awkward cable angle coming out of the display and moving in the opposite direction. I also don't love that it's 3 cables when connected to my PC. I can get it down to 2 USB-C cables when connected to my Mac. So why not do this? Well, that leads me to con number 4. Touchscreen is not supported on Macs, which is a real bummer because I would have preferred to work off of my Mac. While we're talking about touchscreen, let's talk about my final con, palm rejection. With the Kamvas Pro 19, it's not bad, but it's also not as good as my iPad. I noticed errant drawing marks coming from my palm. Luckily, if you use the super comfy padded glove that comes with the pen display, then that's completely a non-issue. But I thought it was worth mentioning. So, what's my final verdict? Is this going to replace my iPad Pro as my daily driver? Well, probably not. My iPad plus Procreate is still my favorite combination for drawing. Its portability and simplicity combined with its precise drawing experience makes it my favorite, and I'm just kind of used to it at this point. But I will say this, the Kamvas Pro 19 is definitely going to replace my XP Pen 24-inch. It's now going to be my main pen display when I need to work in Clip Studio Paint and or Photoshop on my desktop. Why? It's 3 main things. It takes up less space on my desk while still providing me with enough drawing real estate. It has touch capability when using it with my PC, which once you get used to, you can't go back. And 3, it's 4K, so the screen is just super sharp. If you have an iPad and are looking to get a pen display to complement it, then this should definitely be on your shortlist, especially if you are a Clip Studio Paint user, because then you can go back and forth between your iPad and desktop while working on the same file. Also, let's say regardless of whether you own an iPad or not, if you're someone that needs to purchase a pen display because you need to work in a Mac or PC only software, like Photoshop or Blender, then I think this device should be on your shortlist also, especially if you are shopping in the $1,000 price range. I'm certainly no expert, but this Huion pen display is comparable to the best offerings from Wacom, but at a fraction of the price. Anyway, if you have any other questions about the Kamvas Pro 19, let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. And as always, thanks for letting me be a part of your art journey. Bye!